Welcome to Snowcapped, a cooperative tile laying game for 1 to 4 players. A game of Snowcapped sees players laying down different tiles to form a mountain range vista. Tiles are laid according to the season that the game is currently in. When the draw pile runs out, the game ends and the tiles are scored. Scores can be kept during the game using the score tracker along the bottom. To set the game up, place down the 9 base tiles, place down your small tokens face up here, your season tracker set to spring, the remaining tiles in face down draw piles with each player having a hand of 3. Play will proceed clockwise. During a player's turn, they have 3 options. They may discard a tile to play a tile. The discarded tiles are always face up. They may discard 2 tiles to play a tile and modify it with a token. Tokens are placed on top of tiles to make them work slightly differently. Or they could discard all 3 tiles in their hands in order to select a tile from the discard pile and lay that instead. As you can see, you can make the game end quicker or slower depending on how much discarding you choose to do. Discarding all 3 will get you pretty much the exact tile you want, but will bring the game to an end quicker, which means less scoring. How does the scoring work? Well, during spring, each time a player lays down a tile with any kind of stream on, that's the meltwater running off the mountain, that is connected to another stream and down to a lake, they get 1 point for every tile involved in that stream. In this case, 1, 2, 2, 3. At any point during any player's turn, they can choose to move the season dial on to the next season. Once that has happened, the season dial can never be moved back again. So once you've moved from spring to summer, you will never be able to score spring again. So you must choose your time wisely. During summer, every time a player lays down a tile with green forest on, if it connects the forest directly to one other tile with forest on, they may have 1 point. If the tile were to connect directly to 2 other tiles with green forest on, they would get 3 points. Next up, the next season is fall or autumn. During autumn, whenever a player lays a tile with red, yellow or orange trees on, they score 1 point for every adjacent tile that has a different colour of tree on. In this case, I have played a red tree, so that will score in autumn, and beside it is 1 yellow and 1 green. That would be 2 points. Adjacency in this case could also be corner to corner. Finally, when the draw pile has run out, every player has 1 final turn and then winter scoring occurs. During winter scoring, players simply score 3 points for every snow cap that is on a peak. So in this case, that would be worth 3 points. This would not be worth any points because you can see the peak is obstructed by this tile here. Throughout the game, there is another form of scoring which is based on tents. Every time you lay a tent down in such a way that is next to another tent, you gain points for the number of tents in the group. This would get us 2 points because there are 2 tents in the group. If another tent was added to that group, which took the group size up to 3, you would get an additional 3 points. And finally, a 4th tent would get you an additional 4 points, which is the maximum number of tents you can have in a group. Once the game is over, there is some end game scoring. You score 1 final point for every tile in your largest green forest, and you score your largest stream once again. This means that even though you may have moved past spring or summer, those tiles are not worthless. They can still count towards some end game scoring. Once you have your full score, you refer to the scoring chart at the back of the rulebook, which tells you and your group of teammates how well you've done. For instance, if I'd scored between 60 and 62 points, I would have achieved the level of an Alpine Ascender. The game lasts around 25 minutes. It can get very tactical, or you can play it relatively simply. That is Snow Capped, cooperative tile laying game.